Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. Guys, can you believe it? So on the 30th of April, there was supposed to be a sitting. There was supposed to be a sitting there was supposed to be a sitting for the Dalimpofu disciplinary hearing, but there were challenges and it got delayed. Ne? Here is what Daily Maverick is telling us about what happened that day. Wow, guys, things are happening right under our nose. We're not paying attention. Guess what? I'm here to bring you all the tea and all the juicy things, and it's people's lives. Yes, politicians, judiciary, and everything. A lot is happening right under our noses, and we do not know these things. Let me bring you the tea. Anyway, power outage and changes to charge sheet lead to delay in both disciplinary hearing. Now there are charges that are being changed. Okay, let's read. This is from Daily Maverick. And then Dalimpofu was supported by former public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebana at his legal practice council disciplinary hearing on Wednesday, 30th April 2025. Several of the charges relate to how Mpofu conducted himself during cross-examination in parliamentary inquiry into Mkhwebana's fitness to hold office. The Legal Practice Council, LPC, has postponed the disciplinary hearing of Advocate Dalimpofu SC without a new hearing date. Okay. When legal teams arrived at the LPC's Pretoria office, they were greeted by dark corridors due to a power outage. Staff at the building said the entire block had been affected by outages as far back as 25 April. Some neighboring buildings had generators running. The chairperson of the committee, Daniel Mbanza, later addressed the media, confirming that the matter had been postponed partly due to the outage. The second reason for the postponement was a late amendment to the charge sheet, which initially had 7 charges. Mbanza explained that 2 charges relating to former public protector Thulima Donsela had been withdrawn. A third charge related to Chief Justice Mandisa Maya was also withdrawn. The Chief Justice didn't want to proceed. It affects her and all those things. It's personal, Mbanza said. The Legal Practice Council had initially complained about a comment Mpofu made during the interview of now Chief Justice Mandisa Maya at the Judicial Services Commission. Mpofu had commented that he and Maya had spent our night together during law school. Maya later clarified that she had studied overnight with Mpofu. The council viewed Mpofu's comment as discriminatory and laden with sexual innuendo, which was offensive, unprofessional, and lacking decorum. The charge will no longer be prosecuted. The Legal Practice Council has retained and amended a charge related to a letter it believed Mpofu caused to be written to 3 judges. The judges were adjudicating a case involving former Old Mutual CEO Peter Moyo. Moyo had taken Old Mutual to court over his 2019 dismissal and was represented by Mpofu in court. During the course of the 2021 case, the judges expressed concern about a number of procedural issues in the matter, including the late filing of documents. The court called on the lawyers to submit a practice note clarifying their main points or arguments. A strongly worded letter was then sent to Judges Joseph Rawlinga, Postoli Twala, and Ingrid Opperman, signed by Attorney Rudolph Baloy. The letter appeared to admonish the judges for alleged bias. Our client's concerns started with the manner of questions and interventions reserved for our client's lead counsel, who were repeatedly questioned, including the unfair and unfounded accusations of making political speeches, which was correctly withdrawn with an apology only upon the protestation of Mpofu SC. The apology was accepted, and that issue is therefore behind us. However, the latest developments have only served to increase and revive his earlier fears of predetermined outcome and reasonable perception of bias, the letter read. The judges in the case took exception to the tone and content of the letter, saying they would refer the matter to the Legal Practice Council for investigation. Commenting on the withdrawal of the charges, Mpofu reiterated that he found the charges laughable. We are not vindicated by the fact that now 3 of them are dropped without us even opening our mouth. He added that he intended to bring a review application to review the decision to charge him in the first place. Mpofu had also taken exception to the inclusion of the Council for the Advancement of the Constitution, CASA, in the proceeding, despite the NGO being one of the complainants. We objected to their presence and they were kicked out, which is just the deserts for them, or deserts for them, Mpofu commented after the hearing. Commenting on the withdrawal of the charges, Mpofu reiterated that he found the charges laughable. The Council for Advancement of the Constitution Executive Secretary Lawson Naidoo spoke to journalists at the hearing and said he was concerned that the charge sheet had been amended without the knowledge of the complainants. What? We really don't understand the basis on which some of the charges were withdrawn. For example, the 2 charges that relate to Advocate Mpofu's conduct in relation to Advocate Thuluma Donsela and Chief Justice Maya, we've been informed that these 2 individuals don't want to proceed, but the complaint was laid by CASA. It was not dependent on the approval or even the evidence of those people. He was also concerned about the delay in the proceedings. We lodged the complaint in May 2023, that's 2 years ago. So it has taken a long time to get to this stage. It is serious. It is a serious concern for us that we've wasted all this time to get to this point and that the matter has been postponed, he said. Mpofu was supported by members of the Umkhonto weSizwe MK party, including Mkhwebane, who is also facing censure from the Legal Practice Council. It once had removed from the role of advocates. Yo, South Africa. Now, Mkhwebane, everyone gets removed. Yay! This country is busy, guys. I am going to keep you updated with this story. It's an ongoing case. It's an ongoing and developing story. We are going to be glued on it so that we can see where is it going, what's happening there for judiciary. A lot is happening in the courtrooms, guys, and we are not aware. And me and as Noni, I am here to bring the news to you guys. They create them, we bring them to you live here on this Noni M podcast. It is what it was created for everything that is happening in the streets of South Africa when it comes to law case, to court cases, especially when they involve high-profile cases and high-profile people. Yes, we are going to be reporting on them. Okay, I don't know what's going on, and they do not have a next stage where we'll be able to follow up. But as soon as there's new news or new information, I will make sure that I bring them up. Yay! It's just that I've never watched fully like I do with the Senzo Meyiwa case, like I did with the Jocelyn case, like I also follow with the AKA Mera case, like I follow with the Nandipha Makudumana and Thabo Bester Saga situation. I follow those cases religiously. I've never actually followed any case that Dali Mpofu, Advocate Dali Mpofu deals with. I've never really followed up and like be consistent and understand how is his conduct. I don't know, so I wouldn't be really commenting on that. But it looks like he's in hot water, and there's a lot of things that are going in with the withdrawal of charges and this and that. There's a lot of things happening in those court corridors, guys. That is a sure thing, Jay. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Do you think that these charges are going to not go anywhere? They are going to be thrown out? What's your take? Me, not sure. I don't know what to think about them. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Let's talk with comment section. Bye-bye.